DJ Maphorisa. Sa Amapiano artist. The South African market has been the surprise star of the global music industry last year. While it seems unlikely recent years given general recession local industry growth, South Africa was chosen as a highlight. Global Music Report 2023, released last week by International Federation of Phonographic Industry. The highly anticipated report shows that the global market grew by 9% last year, reaching $26 billion. Fastest growing region Sub-Saharan Africa. And according to IFPI, this growth was largely driven by growth in South Africa, the region's largest market. Music sales South Africa increased only marginally at 2.4% in 2021, but jumped as much as 31% 2022. More importantly, growth in region has supported global growth, but IFPI says the recorded music market is growing in every region of world. 4 regions posted double-digit gains, surpassing overall growth rate of 9.0%, with Sub-Saharan Africa surpassing the Middle East and North Africa as fastest-growing region. Sub-Saharan Africa, the only region to see a steep 34.7% increase and more than 30% growth, was the fastest-growing region in terms of recorded music revenues in 2022. Growth was supported by strong growth in revenues in South Africa, largest market in the region. According to IFPI, global growth is driven by local cultures. Adam Granite, CEO of Universal Music Group's Africa, Middle East and Asia, says in report that music has always been incredibly important to cultures around the world. Literally since dawn of civilization. What we are witnessing right now, aided by expansion of the smartphone, is accessibility explosion. Billions of people around the world now have portable music with them at all times. And with this access comes a massive expansion of music services, some free and some paid. This has driven more of our investments into markets, genres and ultimately artists than ever before. But what is most exciting is that, despite all our phenomenal industry growth over past few years, we are in many ways still in early stages of evolution of ecosystem on a global basis. There are billions more consumers we hope to enter in the coming years. Warner Music Group's head of international recorded music, Simon Robson, says in the report that as growth continues around the world, music markets in different countries are at different stages of development. This required different priorities and demanded different strategies from the labels that cared for and invested in them. When we look at the global market, we see strong growth coming from regions such as Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, North Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa, where emerging markets continue to grow. Evolve. Antos Stella, head of Music Arena, which includes both leading record label Gallo and Pan-African music distribution service Content Connect Africa, said 2 main factors are behind the increase in the region. First, growth is the result of a huge race for market share followed by a huge investment in marketing with main digital streaming platforms. Secondly, the Amapiano genre became a hit and artists like DJ Maphorisa and Kabza attracted a larger audience. In South Africa, music streaming leader Spotify reported this week that its data shows Amapiano tracks generated close to 2 billion streams last year, representing a 143% increase from 2021, with over 240,000 playlists featuring Amapiano in the title, and over 10 million playlists featuring at least one Amapiano track. He has garnered such a huge following. Over 40% of Amapiano streams come from listeners outside of South Africa. This helps balance the scales a bit. Stella says reports she's seen show that international content is selling almost 50% more than South African content in this country. But Music Arena has seen growth similar to that reported by IFPI. CCA and Gallo, with one of the largest catalogs on the continent, saw a 31% increase as businesses focus on marketing and services to support our artists. It fully expects the growth momentum to be maintained. This will continue with a greater investment in local talent and various partnerships, particularly between locally focused streaming services like Mdundo and Boomplay. North Africa has also seen a huge increase in listening, and I think we should keep our eyes on Nigeria, Ghana and East Africa. Davido, Wizkid, and we've seen how big the likes of Burna Boy are around the world. We are constantly looking to redefine businesses and stay ahead of the curve. Arena's commitment to investing in the African music industry will result in better service and opportunities for artists. But for artists, it's not all wine and roses. Stella says the changes that listening brings to the local music business is her biggest concern. With streams individually, it takes a lot more investment in digital marketing to even begin to see a creator's return. The artist would need to sell more than 50,000 streams to earn $200 depending on the digital streaming service. And that means various aggregation, distribution, etc., before deducting fees. Temi Adeniji, MD, Warner Music Africa agrees that listening revolution is a potentially positive development in the IFPI report. Across continent, we see users moving from traditional media to digital platforms. This shift is at the heart of mainstream digital platforms. From streaming audio to short-form video, benefits artists and music. A challenge for the music industry as a whole is to convert users from ad-based services to paid subscriptions. In South Africa, for example, we only have about 4 million paid subscribers in a country of about 50 million inhabitants. Therefore, more ad-based services are a conversion for subscription. We have to make sure it functions as a funnel. This feature was originally the Business Times on Sunday Times.